Chill.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to VFX and Chill, brought to you by Maxon, a subsidiary of the Nemetschek Corporation.
It's important
here we are today. It has been a little while since we've been on the air, and I want to introduce my lovely co-hosts over here. Let's see, you're over here, Seth.
Yep, nailed it.
That way. Seth.
High five.
How are you doing? It's been 3 weeks without a show. I've missed you, man.
I know, man. We've been. It was nice to have a little break. I will tell you that. I would have this like panic every Wednesday, where I'd be like, I don't know what we're doing this week, and then I'd remember we're not doing anything this week. That said, we did spend a lot of the break planning something that we just can't talk about yet, but we want people to be excited.
Secret stuff. We have secret stuff.
Actually, several secret things. Speaking of...
there's lots of secrets.
Speaking of lots of secrets...
I should close this document of secrets on my desktop before I start sharing my screen.
Secrets. Close that up.
Spider-Man
Michael,
Chamber of Secrets.
Perfect segue. How are you, Michael?
I'm good. I'm itchy, but good. I had
Great,
to go
let's
to
get
the
started. What's wrong?
No, I went to urgent care for poison ivy because my arm got all swollen. They're like, you should get a shot to make that go away. So, fun.
I hate it.
Now, some folks in the chat are already excited about today's episode. Michael Powlex says, ad placement so lucrative, you're going to be billboard with how much money you will have.
Amazing.
Listen, I think it's too early for any of this, and
damn it, Michael.
I'm going to have to make that for the comments.
We could use the regular dang it, Michael, without my surname for that one, because that was from another Michael.
It's true.
Although he is claiming that in the 3 weeks off, AI has replaced him. So.
Oh, well.
True.
So you're AI right now? Was what he's saying?
Michael Powlex is saying that they are AI, yes.
Oh, good. So listen, let's cut right to the chase. What are we talking about today, Hush?
Well, today we are talking about an interesting concept. I think that we are actually probably being a little, what's the word? Not precognitive, but I think that we're making some predictions of things that have been talked about. I think honestly since like 1996. I remember there were articles about this, like print articles about the idea of product placement. A way to seamlessly advertise a product to you while you're absorbing other content.
You just described the ad for product placement. Product placement, a way to
for
and everything
all
you just
your
said underneath it.
Advertising needs, ads.
I just remember on Smallville when Clark Kent goes to open up this farmhouse fridge and everything in there is just a shelf full of Mountain Dew. You're like, come on. Clark Kent does not drink a green beverage.
We're going to be watching like Law and Order SVU, and they're like, how are we going to get there in time? I'm like, we'll just take my Buick Chrysler 36910. When they get in, like, wow, this is incredible.
I've already punched in the address to the...
Yeah, and then you cut to, and it's just like a weirdly hairier hand pressing like the ad, like buttons.
Insane.
So
recently...
Yeah, but bizarrely, this enters the world of VFX in some fun ways for us, I think. Recently, there was some viral mention of a concept like this that, I don't know, Seth, should we go right to sharing it?
Yeah, so you guys, I have actually never watched this, but Michael and Hashi, you guys, Michael, I think you shared it in the Slack at some point. The idea that in Chile, this was like not... Like this was a while ago that this would happen, and then they've started doing it again, where they integrate the ads into the movie. So like
so the web story of it is that this is how they were able to show Star Wars with no ad breaks.
I gotta tell you, the song itself makes it all worth it.
The song does a lot of the work.
So
now, as you'll recall from the 1977 Star Wars, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it doesn't. He doesn't suddenly reach into a cooler of beer or here. I truly thought someone was trolling when I first saw these appear.
But these are look at these well produced. It's like the Indiana Jones Diet Coke, was it?
Oh man, I gotta tell you, I love it so much. This gets really. By the way, is my first time actually watching these clips.
Oh, they're so good.
I have to tell you, this is a masterpiece.
Never.
It's so good.
But tell me why I can't.
It is pretty remarkable. Honestly, you know, they had to understand the rules of.
I mean, the lighting, the costumes, like, it's so good.
Here we go.
It's coming.
So right now, this looks like we're just talking about great stuff. Golly.
The power of the cut. It just.
I think. Well, I'm gonna have to make a Cerveza Cristal drop for the show.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And with the disclaimer that says we are not sponsored by Cerveza Cristal. But so the thing is.
So anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a long time ago, I remember that there were articles about things like, in the future, they'll be able to digitally alter products in movies so they can tailor them to whatever the at the time, like the network wants to show. So like instead of Reese's Pieces in E.T., you'd get M&Ms.
The idea that
There's
you
a whole
can
other story.
basically have the idea that you can have constantly the way that podcasts will, no matter how old of an episode you're listening to of a podcast, the ads will be current, up-to-date ads, because they have some kind of system where they're constantly able to drop in new ads to every episode of a podcast. This idea is that, you know, in 1 year you might be watching Law and Order SVU and they'll be getting into a Chrysler, beep, 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 beep. Maybe you're watching reruns of it or streaming it on Netflix like years later, and suddenly they're sitting in a Mercedes or something. It's completely updated and changed depending on who's paying the network at the time. So today we figured we would show examples of that and maybe drop, our own ads into some of our favorite movies or some of the most iconic scenes, ways that we think that this might be tastefully
Subtly
rolled out.
We're basically warning you, the public, about what the future holds.
Yeah,
and also teaching techniques
and teaching you how to do it.
Yeah,
and teaching you how to do it, because that's going to be the only job you can get in the future. Is
bread and butter VFX artists
helping do this, helping desecrate classics with advertisements. But my other secret hope, Seth, we love us our viral clips if we can get people sharing them online, and we love having you all here live to make suggestions and to have things that go into this bin of stuff that every now and then we get some traction online, which is fun. So I want to face this all in a thing that makes it look like if you saw it quickly online, you might think that it is really happening.
Absolutely, we want to lie to people. So. How are we going to do it?
What else is an advertisement other than a sweet lie?
A sweet, sweet lie. Cerveza Cristal.
All right, so I'm going to start sharing my screen here. So we were trying to think of, some fun movies and moments where, that are, otherwise iconic, but this is obviously the I drink your milkshake moment, but I feel like they missed out on a real opportunity here to integrate,
to shoot it in a Dairy Queen.
To shoot in a Dairy Queen.
Perfect.
I mean, it's a product placement. So this is the kind of the concepts that we're going to be going through. We have clips from a lot of beloved movies here in our folder, and let's see. Do we want to talk about the game plan? Do we want to do these as timers? How do we want to do it?
Great question. To time or not to time? We've got several.
Also, let me know if the construction noises are audible over the stream.
Nah.
Because probably fine.
My thing about timers is that I feel like these shots are all. We have to make sure the shots are similarly complex. Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe not. It's maybe we just adjust what we want to do. So I've got this scene from The Graduate This very final shot from The Graduate that you could put.
Spoiler alert.
Look at that. Look at all that wasted space. That wasted real estate. That's what we need to say in the viral clip is say like advertisers can now make use of the wasted space in these
space. Oh my god.
You got to find good like negative space, like shots from like Kubrick films or something where there's big negatives, not Kubrick, but like where there's someone against a wall and it's just giant negative space in frame. You say wasted. That's where you say wasted real estate.
Oh yeah. Wait, here we go.
Yes.
Look at this. What were they thinking?
They were thinking about the future. They were thinking about our needs now.
They were like, this movie isn't going to be sold on physical media anymore. It's only going to be available through a streamer. And what do streamers want? Dollars. Ooh, and there's actually, you can tell the wide angle here is being shown by, look at that.
Are you going to get to use lens distortion matcher on the show? I don't think we've done that.
Oh my gosh.
Lens distortion matcher is
I don't think we have.
Oh, it's so useful. Goodness.
Okay, is there some slide? There's some.
And then I've got this shot from Sound of Music that I think is pretty perfect for her to.
I'm excited about this one.
Like walk into the shot and reveal the Expedia billboard.
It's all about the reveals.
In the middle of the field.
Expedia. Your dream destination awaits.
Truthfully, I don't know. Michael, do we need a timer or not? What do you think?
I think that what they say for people with ADD and ADHD.
All right, we're doing a timer. Here we go.
We're doing a timer.
Let's put 10 minutes on the clock.
It just helps focus. Like if you know you have a deadline, then you fuss around less.
I hate
just
fussing
as humans
around.
In general.
I hate fussing around. I wish we would fuss the way around all the way to hell. Hashi, let's do 20 minutes. You ready?
Let's do 20 minutes. All right.
Take this, ADHD.
Take that, Mr. Pomodoro.
Well, no, wait. That's who's helping us, kind of.
All right. So
says that,
I have done a little bit of groundwork on this one, so I'm totally cheating. I have the shot, like the specific one where he says, I take my straw, I go over to you, and I drink your milkshake. Ha ha ha.
Look, I'm going to be honest. I know we said we should put a menu on the wall, but I wonder if you could put like the checkout counter right there instead.
Oh man.
With like a person standing there wearing a Dairy Queen hat.
Wait. So at the end of my clip, like here, like this is the window.
Better. Right there. You're right. That's the place to do it.
Because the whole background could also be replaced with like the interior of a Dairy Queen. Like there's this nice built-in sign that feels like a natural place for an ad, but also I'm kind of curious about transporting them entirely into a Dairy Queen. So that's just the counter and everything is over here, and he's just walking from like the entrance past the front counter and over to the guy sitting in the corner.
Exactly. Just with these poor people watching him.
Goodness gracious. So now is when I need to find some additional clips of people who have just filmed static shots in Dairy Queens.
David Gonzalez is asking, what program are you guys using? Right now, Hashi and Seth are using After Effects. They use this on pretty much every show here. Adobe After Effects, usually augmented with tools from Maxon's Red Giant Suite tools. Frequently VFX Suite, occasionally Trap Particular and other tools like that. And often they'll use Cinema 4D, which is a fun motion graphics and VFX-y 3D program. So yeah. That is what we are using today. Most of the After Effects today, I think, guys, right?
I think this is going to, a lot of compositing tricks. We're going to use some cool Red Giant things, I'm pretty sure, in here. We have some good Kingpin tracker opportunities and a chance to show off lens distortion matcher later. That'll be fun.
Lens distortion matcher.
Yeah, I think the idea of matching lens distortion is something that is like a revelation when you've been trying to do visual effects, compositing stuff for a bit, and then suddenly the idea comes to you, or you stumble across it, that you can match the lens distortion of the camera, and then once you figure out how to do it, you're like, oh, suddenly all my tracks slip way less. Suddenly all my stuff just feels like it's better integrated into the shot. Yeah, it makes a huge difference. And the lens distortion matcher from Red Giant is just so good. Like, it makes it so much easier in After Effects than doing it natively. There are other tools out there like Nuke that have, their own tool sets for it, but if you're doing it in After Effects, it's so tough, and Lens Distortion Matcher just makes it so much easier. I know we're going to use it later, but I think just chatting about it now, it gets me excited. It's one of those things that, like, when I started using it, I was like, oh my gosh, changes everything.
It's pretty cool. It was something that I had no good process for before. All right. I am just trying to look at some Dairy Queen images over here.
Well, if anyone wants to learn more about Lens Distortion Matcher, the link is in the chat. Justin LeDuc does want you to put a Budweiser ad in there and instead say "There will be Bud," but we're not swapping out dialogue for this.
We considered it, and it felt like a little bit much.
Frigby suggests also that Blade Runner is primed for ad placements with their massive screens.
We talked about that.
We did talk about it.
And we talked about swapping it out with something else. And then we kind of let it fall by the wayside. But now I have an idea and I'm doing it.
Okay, perfect.
Andrew Smith
a lot of the movies that we thought of that have natural placements for them are like Blade Runner is a commentary on
I think that's
so
why
it feels
it's
weird to redo it.
Nick or Andrew Smith says they hate to admit the NHL has done it quite well with the full board replacement. Yeah, and baseball, Major League Baseball is one of the first things to do it, where they could live swap in ads behind the batters in the broadcast. It's quite effective.
What age we live in.
Yeah.
What an age we live in.
Now, Michael Powlak suggests you could take they want you to, instead of using After Effects here, Hashi, for this one, they think they should use Apple Shake instead. That's a pretty name funny. I have not heard in a long time.
Pretty funny.
Apple Shake.
And Nick Smith, we've got a couple of folks from the Smith family in the house today. Nick Smith suggests replacing the giant bomb from the 60s Batman movie with him running around with like a platter with Grey Poupon on it or something.
Oh.
Or a giant Cerveza Cristal.
Now, I should say, those of you who are watching on Twitter or Facebook or Twitch or some of the other YouTube channels that we're on are like, wait, I'm not seeing these comments. That's because we're streaming this to multiple places at once. If the majority of the chat is happening over on the Maxon Red Giant YouTube channel, so if you head over to youtube.com/Red Giant, that is where the majority of the chatter is taking place.
Yes. It's nice to be in the same room as everyone,
Yeah, I mean, I try to help bring everyone in by calling out relevant comments, but if you want to see everything even things that I'm not mentioning, the comments that are too risque for broadcast.
Ooh.
Oh man. See, here's the most exciting part of our show. We're searching for elements.
I should say Nate from Twitter says, have someone toss a Sound of Music lady a beer, Seth. Just do the right thing. He said her, but I can't say her now because you're on a different scene. So I have to specify.
Oh, yeah. Then I have to do hand animation and stuff. I don't know if that's what I want to do at the moment. I think having a pan over to just reveal a giant billboard is going to be hilarious in that shot. But you've switched out to doing a Blade Runner one, which I'm excited to see what you do. Just real quick, just going to try something real.
We've got 13 minutes.
Pop out and pop back. Oh, yeah, we have a timer.
What are you doing? I see nothing.
I'm fixated on trying to find the right background plate for this now.
Listen, time. We do not have that. We do not have. You have 13 minutes.
Why don't people take higher quality images of Dairy Queens from the inside at the angle that I need them? What I should do is I should just go to individual Dairy Queens on Google Maps and see who's posted user images. Oh, wait, I'm gonna save this one. It's not great.
I love you. I hope you have a good day. Sorry.
You too, Michael.
Child interruption.
All of you. We love all of you and hope you have a good day. This isn't very good. Saying that today.
I thought your menu board you had up there earlier was fine.
I know. It just. I feel like there's something about the idea of it being. Okay. Well, hear me out.
Just it takes place inside a Dairy Queen.
Welcome to the happiness. Okay, so for example, I have not tried tracking this yet, but the idea would be. He walks over across the Dairy Queen. What is this kind of crappy tracking remind me of? It reminds me of something. It reminds me of memes that other people might release into the world. Not us, though. Not here on VFX and Chill. Only the highest quality.
Those people know how to manage their time and resources, but not us.
They're like, will people laugh at this on the internet with this amount of effort? Probably, yeah. But, it's the pride, You got to be able to take pride in your work.
And Seth is using Kingpin Tracker right now. I love Kingpin Tracker for a couple of reasons. One, it's a nice planar tracker that works right inside of After Effects. You don't have to jump in and out of different things to make it work. But also, it's so fast. Like, it tracks fast and After Effects can refresh, which is great. Now, I haven't tried it yet in the new After Effects beta, which has the new GPU accelerated user interface. So I'm interested to see if it can keep up with Kingpin. I suspect it still might not be able to. And Justin Leduc is suggesting that Hashi's work could have a new movie title. There will be complaints made to the Dairy Queen manager.
Excellent.
I just feel like you'd have to really dial in the kerning on a title like that to make it play. All right, so how I got to this point of having a roto character was using Adobe After Effects' Roto Brush 3, which is really insanely accurate. So with like very little work from me, I got this pretty decent roto of Freddie Mercury here, like talking about milkshakes. But I need to track this background, and I'm trying to think of there are so few markers there, and so I did a standard trick, which is you have your original footage, you have your rotoed character. And you can turn your rotoed character, you can make their mode like silhouette alpha, and that punches out the character. And then either using the content aware fill tool right here, you can expand the alpha to make sure that you're getting a little bit of that extra slop around them, or you can add a matte choker to your character so you can kind of see it in comp. You just want to cut away a little bit more, because if you cut too close to them and like a string on the sweater hangs out or something like that, then it'll start adding itself to the background when you run content aware fill. So I went through a process of kind of attempting that with this, where we had I had this whole bit right here, but I knew that content aware fill would have trouble not like with sections like this. And so I went through and picked a few random spots like this right here, where I could what order are these in? Where I could just here in the content aware fill menu click on create reference frame, and then I would hop over to Photoshop, where I could run a generative fill within this shape, and it would give me a very nice clean version of this background. And then it moves a little bit more, and I added another clean image right there. And then I moved a little bit more to right here where he's covering up the thing, and added a nice kind of clean frame like that. And so I'm just trying to add little frames throughout. So if content aware fill is trying to figure out what goes in between, it's been fed something a little bit more curated before just trying to guess all of that. But even with all that, I got this result. it's okay. I'm just concerned that it's not trackable.
Yeah,
I haven't tried it yet, but
a little warpy.
Yeah, so let's see here. If this were a nice camera track piece of footage, I would use our very own 3D plane stamp to grab those clean pieces of the image and put them back here. But this is proving to be a little bit more of a challenge than I thought it was going to be. Goodness gracious. Okay. Let's see if this camera tracks at all. I'm going to run the 3D camera tracker right here. Track camera. It's been 3 weeks, guys. And go. Okay, so I'm going to go to the 3D camera tracker, and under advanced for the solve method, I'm going to say mostly flat scene. Actually, no, I'm going to say tripod pan. I'm just going to try to force it to imagine that the camera is still and it's just moving itself here on a tripod. Because I'm pretty sure this is on sticks.
Sticks. Ooh, you're part of the industry.
Heck yeah.
Guys, which one's better? This one or this one?
Oh, man. Oh, wait, solved in camera? Hey, looky there. Sorry, I got distracted. Okay, let me see yours.
It's okay. Logo or no logo?
I think no logo, just for the read of it being a bottle.
Yeah.
You could isolate just the Cristal banner there and put it in front of the bottle or something like that. I'm unsure. Hey, this worked. So, in case you don't know, the 3D camera tracker in After Effects has several ways that it can track your scene. If you just run it, sometimes it worked great on footage. Sometimes it'll fail, and sometimes there are ways to improve the results from it. So in this case, I knew ahead of time that it wasn't a camera moving through space, and it wasn't going to be able to triangulate very well. But if I told it to solve as a tripod pan, that it would be able to sort of track points moving consistently in kind of a, nodal rotation of a camera style. And I think that it might have gotten a pretty good location for this. Let's see. I'm going to select a handful of points here, and it'll let you know right here that there was no depth because it was a tripod pan. I'm going to create a solid and camera. Great. And now let's scale this down a little bit. And let me just play that through. In fact, I'm going to put my character in front of it. That always makes me happy when I get to see a little placeholder or something. Whoops, I think I did something weird to the background here. Oh yeah, my generative fill layer. I think I tried clipping it a bit, and it didn't work out very well. Matt Choker.
Oh no, he's back. Matt Choker.
Look
3 minutes and 35 seconds.
Wait, how was that? 3 minutes and 30 seconds left? Okay, that means we've got to move right into it.
What about this?
Okay.
That's looking pretty good. What tools did you use to give it that kind of screen look?
What do you think, Mike?
I'm guessing Universe Analog.
No, I actually went with Holomatrix because that was...
Oh! That's my second choice.
And then a little vignette. Honestly, if I wanted to give it the same, I could do even another adjustment layer underneath it of, and this is so stupid, but I could do VHS because the original Cerveza Cristal things looked very VHS-y. But...
Oh, well, that just kills the
yeah,
the yellow in there.
Let's see.
I'm just doing boring stuff over here. That was on point.
It was. It was. I think Jason Murphy is using voice to text because He says, "Hello, Matrix" is great, but I feel like
Hello, Matrix. You're so friendly with
Hello.
me.
he was really hoping you were going to use CC ball action to make it look like a big LED screen.
CC ball action.
Yes, he wanted that to happen.
I mean, it's not my go-to. I should have. Blade Runner. Save. Oh, one that we made during our practice runs, by the way. I'm going to do Sound of Music on the next timer. Well, how much we got? We got 2 minutes left? Yeah, I'm going to do the next one.
Perfect.
I pivoted to Blade Runner. But on our original, or on our practice, I also made this one.
Oh, yes.
Hashi, you were great because
Wow.
I was trying to remember there was an ad when I lived in LA. I would see on benches all the time. It said, "Wanna bet a butt." It was on every bench in North Hollywood or in all of LA when I lived there. But then you reminded me of Work Boot Warehouse, which I don't know if it's on benches, but it's billboards everywhere of just scantily clad women wearing boots, work boots. And they're the
Like,
ugliest ads.
why work any harder on these ads?
And there you go. So anyway. All right.
All right. I'm trying to deal with the, there's some weird slipping
Oh no.
the sign right here, and I'm deciding if I should fix the sign or if I should fix the camera.
Slipping signs.
I'm going to try fixing the sign. Oh, I didn't add
You've got
keyframes
40.
to the right
You got
object.
42 seconds.
2 seconds? I've got it. No problem. Okay, go to the last frame that it looked kind of right. Go to the frame where it's at the peak of wrong. Peak of wrong. I want to see that.
That's our book we eventually write, the VFX and Chill book. The Peak of Wrong.
Story of internet live streaming. Gosh.
Uh-oh.
This got no better than my dummying up of it.
Hey, you want to keep working on that one, and I'll start working on Sound of Music?
Sure.
All right. Sound of Music.
Okay, I'll blur it a little bit.
Speaking of Sound of Music, I got this new beat machine, and which you heard during the pre-show if it was hooked up correctly. And you can ask Hashi. He'll be like, "Hey, I'm around if you want to hop on and work on the show." And I'm like, "All right, I'll be there in just a second." And then 3 hours will go by. And it turns out I will just hit play on this thing. And literally, I will look up and it'll be 3 hours later. It's the Teenage Engineering EP133 KO2. It's incredibly cool. I post things. If you're into that at all and you want to see someone use it stupidly, on Instagram, I'm Hank Davidson Esquire, and you can see all the stupid crap I make with this. It's a very cool device made by a very cool company. Anyway, they're not sponsoring us. I'm literally just talking about this thing that it's in my life that's ruining my life.
What would this show
that I
be
love.
without pausing to plug our favorite
Cool crap
ads throughout?
All right, I got this roto that looks pretty good, and I'm now going to use that roto first.
Excellent.
The chat has some suggestions for what sort of billboard to be revealed in the shot.
Okay.
Michael Palak is suggesting the hills are alive with the smell of Hills Brothers coffee.
It's pretty good.
Nice,
Pretty good.
nice, pretty.
Pretty
I've been
fine
watching a lot
suggestion.
of Curb lately. Let's.
Anyone else in the chat have suggestions? Feel free to throw them out. Now, Hashi and Seth and I think all three of us are going to be near these hills shortly. In about a month from now or so.
Yeah, just a short 6-hour train ride away.
Yeah,
From your house.
We'll all be in Germany shortly in a next month. It's going to be fun.
And more things to announce about that. It'll be fun.
Yes.
Should be fun. This was filmed in
North
Salzburg.
Hollywood. Toluca Lake.
Right?
And let's do generate that fill. Wait, that's not what I'm doing. Stop it, Seth. You don't do that.
Yeah, why are you do? I was just about
Sorry,
to
it was
ask.
for track. Sorry, I'm so used to needing to do that. What I will need to
I'm
do.
gonna try to read. No. I'm redoing my 3D camera track after being happy that it had done it.
Oh,
Okay, I'm going to redo it. I'm going to do a detailed analysis. I'm going to tell it it's a tripod pan. And
Andrew Smith wants a condos now selling development billboard.
oh my gosh, this land soon to be Century 21.
So much of this show, is things that are fun. It's funny because they're true.
There's no shame
coming soon,
left
Chipotle.
unturned in the advertising realm.
Stop clicking generate fill, idiot. Okay.
Okay,
Track
saw it.
camera.
Nick Smith wants one of those Lamar placeholder billboards behind her. Does outdoor messaging work? It just did.
Oh gosh,
Is that a nationwide thing in America?
I feel like that's a very I feel like that's a trope. Is the like you just read this, so
And your car is crashed.
Would you rather our ads crash your browser or your car?
that big like super bright digital billboard in Vegas does have
Oh my gosh.
keep your eyes on the road like amongst its slides.
Hashi, look, it's our favorite thing. Road
Oh,
in front
it's
of
so good.
in front of
Yes.
tracking.
If we could just turn that into a feature concept, we
We would be millionaires. We would be done with our movie.
Michael Pollack just wants to put Dairy Queen in there, make this whole show about Dairy Queen, which would be fine. And I appreciate Dairy Queen's product. I worked at Dairy Queen a long time ago. I lived in
why don't you work there now? You could get us
Well,
free ice cream.
I know.
Yeah.
It is
The hell,
technically
man?
ice cream.
Can you get it back?
This is when I lived in a town of like 989 people, and the Dairy Queen was one of two restaurants available in that town. One was a home style Southernish cooking stuff because this is out in rural Missouri, where there were only 3 billboards. Well, I think we'll get to that later, but. Yeah, the other restaurant was Dairy Queen, and occasionally I was like the only person working there, with maybe like the manager in the back doing paperwork stuff. So I had to do all of the things. Like I had to do taking orders, making drinks, making sweet treat, ice creamy things, doing the grill, doing the fryer, like all at the same time. Even if like a whole school bus full of kids showed up from a baseball game, it was fun times. So I would have no problem, is what I'm saying, making this whole episode of Dairy Queen commercial, because I really enjoyed that time in my life when I was
think you just did.
covered in fry grease. Jason says, it sounds like Seth's been watching Curb, but I don't think Susie's defaced billboard would be appropriate to put in this scene.
Nope. No.
And Michael Pollack is suggesting any attorney with a sledgehammer billboard.
I think Hashi's recommendation of Expedia is funny too. Just something that feels real enough, like
Your
it would
destination awaits the.
That,
because the whole point of the show is like
we're
it's
That's what they should do. Like
we're
whenever
advertising
it
to people
says.
who are watching the movie. Remember?
So like if you're ever watching something like The Bourne Identity, and it's like it puts a little chyron of what country they're in, like that should actually be like let you know where they are,
Yeah.
and like the airfare available from your location.
Frigby's thinking if you lived here, you'd be home by now billboard, which is funny.
That is funny. Man, I wish they got a ground plane, but they didn't. So I'm gonna turn on detailed analysis.
This I think this camera track. I don't know. Why is this killing me, Seth?
Everything is.
Is there any other? Do you not have a better way to track this shot than the camera tracker?
I do. I haven't tried all my
There's
tricks.
not enough
Not you.
data. That's the thing. I need to. What I would do to track this.
Have you tried putting like levels on there to crank the texture detail to get more texture? Have you tried other methods of tracking other than the camera tracker?
Have you tried just kingpinning this crap? Because the truth is, like, you only need it to match with the actors. You don't need it to match with the actual set. So, you get what I'm saying? You can replace the background
if I'm doing a full
entirely.
replacement, yes. See, I've got to move on from this shot. I'm going to close this one. Calling
It's
it.
just such a good one. Oh well.
I'll come back to it. I just don't want to do all the ugly business to make this work.
Nick Smith
What I would honestly do is I would like. I don't think there's enough detail in the wall there. But one thing that I used to try to do for shots like this is I would add colorama. It just maps everything out to different colors like that. And then the other thing you can do is if you take the output cycle, you can repeat it. And then what happens is you start to add, see this like rainbow on the wall now, instead of a gradient from white to something. It's somewhat, like, unfortunately, the compression and everything like that makes it too weird. But colorama is actually an interesting way to add weird detail to things that don't have a lot of detail. Like if you did the gray ramp like that. Oops, what did I do? And try forcing it into a different... no, this edge is too dynamic, I think. There's not enough detail here. So what I would really do is I would go to this frame and kingpin track something just to fit a grid to fit right there between them for a few frames that way, and then try to camera track it through. But we don't have time.
Nick Smith,
success would not be good.
Yeah. Nick Smith is suggesting for you, Seth, a billboard for mail order Austrian Hudsons with 7 children. Jason Murphy says something for you, Hashi, manual points and lockdown.
Lockdown, that's what we're not thinking of.
Is a way to do it. And for you, Seth, Bill Hood is suggesting something that's actually in keeping with the theme, Swiss Miss Hot Chocolate from Bill Hood.
All right, that works. So, Bill, correct. Just a reminder, what we're doing is we're advertising to the viewer of the movie. So,
not to the character in the film.
Yeah, not to the character in the film, exactly. But Swiss Miss is great. They're all funny suggestions, 100%.
By Yanksy is asking, they say they've got the same problem with tracking some footage. There's a good ways to solve it. There's a number of ways you can solve troublesome tracks. Hashi just mentioned some of them using colorama or levels or curves. Any way to add detail to the shot to help the camera tracker pick up on it. You could use other tools like lockdown, kingpin tracker, and in some shots, tracking issues are solved by using lens distortion matcher or some other tool to remove lens distortion, get a solid track, then reapply the lens distortion to your tracked elements, and that is often solves troublesome tracking.
And did someone say lens distortion matcher?
Yes.
Excellent.
I said it earlier in the show, but it's some shots. It makes all the difference in the world.
Yes, it does.
It does.
We haven't used it enough on the show, to be honest.
We haven't. Now, this isn't a super dynamic camera shot, but I do know that when I put something in here, it's got to match the slight curvature that you're getting from the wide-angle lens here, right? And so if I were to do my comping in here, I'd have to start like bending all the layers and trying to make them do stuff. But what lens distortion matcher does is this really great thing, because I can apply some lens distortion matcher right here, and it has this really, really fun interface. So as soon as you've applied the effect, you'll notice that your icon became a little pen tool, which is cool. So you just look for the curved lines in your image, and you can take the pen tool and say, the curve kind of goes from there, and then there's a point here, and a point here, and you've defined just a little curve like that, which is pretty cool. And that's maybe all I need to do. You can pick a couple of them to try to help really nail down the curvature by giving it a couple of examples. Oh, whoops, I forgot to start a new segment.
I forgot to do this.
Track it.
Can't see you guys anymore. Mr. Patrick, can you move, please? Mr. Patrick? That sounds like an elementary school teacher.
Doesn't look like one, though.
Mr. Patrick, can you put your clothes back on, please? This is highly inappropriate. I know you're teaching us mesh tracking in elementary school, inexplicably.
For those who are curious about that shot, that was from the Terminator 2 where they were trying to get his walk cycle tracked out for their computer-generated graphics. So they painted a grid on the guy.
I don't know if it was necessarily tracking. It was mostly reference for animation. Yeah.
Right.
They projected it onto him and then traced the grid. It's pretty great.
Then he walked. They filmed it. Such a good way to do it.
And no one ever had to see the embarrassing footage.
All right. So I've drawn 2 reference lines for how the things that I know should be not distorted are coming in. And so I can do that. And then right over here, you have a couple of options. You can remove the distortion. And if you do that, it'll just do this. It straightens out the image. So if you look at these are actually, that's straight now. But instead of that, I'm going to say undo. Go back to the stage where I have my curves defined. I feel like this one curved down too low. Luckily, I can just modify it. Yes. There we go. It's a little bit more accurate. And then I can say create an undistortion pre-comp. And when I clicked on that, it looked like nothing happened. But what it did is down here, you'll see a new pre-comp has appeared. And if I double click into that, I now have a composition where it's made it larger than my original footage and kind of stretched it out. This one isn't as dramatic a distortion as I thought. Actually, I feel like I didn't even nail it for this. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the bottom one's not. The bottom line wasn't quite right. Might undo a step or two and fix that.
Yeah, let me just quickly do a reset. So yeah, apply lens distortion matcher. I will grab the pen. Say there, and there. That seems. I can press escape to end that line, and then let me just see how this looks. I think that seems right for that curve. And that's actually all I need. So I can just say create undistortion pre-comp. There, I think this is going to be accurate. There we go.
That's more like it.
So look at this. It's like this is cool, like stretched out version that's actually a higher res version. And now inside here, I can run, I can track the camera, for example.
Or just add anything to the scene. And so you'll see here the original footage that has been undistorted is set as a guide layer. So anything you put in this comp will show up in your main comp, just laying over top of the footage. It's such a good way to do it because you're working non-destructively. You're not messing the footage at all. The original footage back there gets rendered just as it always was. A lot of techniques that have you undistort and then redistort, you end up losing some quality of the footage because you're distorting it, and undistorting it a few times. But in this case, it's not doing that because the original footage is just rendering untouched. The only thing that's being, distorted is the stuff that you're adding into the shot. So you'd lose no quality in your footage at all this way. It's a great way to work.
Super cool. And this can do some extreme examples, like incredibly fish-eyed.
Yes, and there's some very good examples of that in the link that's in the chat. It's a link to a Getting Started with Lens Distortion Matcher tutorial by someone named Daniel Hashimoto.
Oh yeah, was that?
The bike one is a really good one because you take this really cool Futures UI and wrap it onto this GoPro footage.
With your workload? Look at this schedule, perfectly organized
now, Seth,
and managed.
I'm curious why you've just picked Camera Tracker for your shot because is that not mostly just a tripod pan you could do with like Spot Clone or something else? Like why have you chosen this?
Because I want to. Yeah.
Perfect.
The end.
We got Spot Clone, Lockdown, Kingpin, but you've gone this route.
Like I just want to do an example to show.
Because the problem is it's tracking the background, but it's not tracking the foreground grass. And
that is a problem.
And it's hard for it to because the detail sucks in that area. And I just don't know what to do about it. There's not a high enough res I can't find a high res enough clip online.
Have to change this show's theme into tracking troubles.
Tracking troubles.
All right. Were there suggestions of what should be on the punch drunk wall of punch drunk wall? Punch drunk wall.
Oh yeah, chat. We need suggestions. What should go on the wall in this shot?
It's an odd location, obviously, but
what sort of products?
Real estate.
What sort of products would the people watching this movie be tempted by?
I mean, I
2 minutes.
reloaded a couple of random ads into the folder. We have the chubby chicken cruncher.
Go for it. Go for it.
Let's see. Oh wait, this one might be appropriately wide too. Let me see. Here we go. The Subway breakfast combo. I'm just going to do a little crop here.
Mm-hmm.
It's $2.50. When was this billboard?
This is from some museum of.
Michael Palek suggests Bear One Coat Plus, Home Depot fine paint brand.
It's pretty funny.
Bill Hood just wants IKEA. Also excellent. I love IKEA's furniture. IKEA's got some crap stuff, but if you look for like the solid wood stuff, that is some good furniture that will last.
I'll never badmouth IKEA.
They're easy to follow instructions, are no problem.
This episode sponsored by IKEA and Teenage Engineering and the Chubby Chicken Cruncher.
And the Chubby Chicken Cruncher.
I'm so bummed that I can't get this track work. This shot was going to be so funny, and it seems so straightforward, but there's just no data to be able to get from the ground.
I see what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
Friggin' crap. This sucks. I'm so mad.
Yeah. 25 seconds left to figure it out.
Well, luckily, I don't need a whole lot more here. I'm just going to
knock the exposure down some.
See, let's whoops, not the original base, that. Let's tone that down. Let's use one of the.
Oh, timer went off.
Oh, I didn't hear that time.
Whoops, my bad.
No, it continued. It exploded. Just was silent.
Amazing. Okay. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do the graduate.
Your little white border at the top there for some reason. All right. So bare minimum.
Hey, Hashi,
I've added a drop shadow, and I'm. What was that?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Oh. So yeah, here I could just use a simple power pin because I can just make it straight like the undistorted footage here, and then if I hop back into the original clip, it'll be distorted to match. Oops, I didn't turn it into a 3D layer yet. 3D layer, put it back in its right place there. There we go. And now it's got the
perfect.
It's matching these the curve of this ground and the weird curve here. Disappears. Excellent. So that's how lens distortion matcher works.
Woo.
All right, a new shot.
Yeah,
a new shot.
I'm gonna do the graduate.
Graduate.
Can I do the graduate? No.
Let's close that project.
Oh, Hashi didn't even pick his yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry. What are you doing, Hashi?
We talked about a lot. I don't remember.
Dark Knight.
Oh, Dark Knight.
You can just do the one wall.
That's true. Okay, we'll do Dark Knight. I think that I started to a Premiere file. Oh, jeez.
Okay, 7. We couldn't find the right clip. For 7, didn't have enough footage, but we wanted to basically like make it a UPS or a D8 or what was it, the DHL advertisement, where the guy's just like, instead of the guy being like, "Guy told me to deliver this at this time," instead he's like, "It's amazing, we were able to deliver within 24 hours." Like basically walking through.
Oh my gosh.
How The greatest company is. All right. So
It's the same guy who delivers the letter in Back to the Future.
Oh yeah, Joe. Didn't he? I believe. Wait, am I wrong?
Wait, is that someone? I don't remember.
Yes, it's the dad from Freaks and Geeks and the guy from SCTV. Oh man, hang on.
Okay, let's save.
While you think about that,
who died this week?
Oh,
thanks,
away. Rest
Seth.
in peace, Joe Flaherty. All right.
Nick Smith is suggesting a whole shot entirely, suggesting replacing the giant poster behind the speaker in Citizen Kane. Now,
way ahead of
you may or may not know, we have already done this for the But with Raptors, and not only did they replace the poster behind the speaker, they also replaced the speaker and made them a raptor. So if you have not yet seen But with Raptors on Twitter, you should hop, or Instagram, But with Raptors, hop over there and see. Oh, she's got it for you already. Yeah. There you go.
She's already prepped. We were talking about doing one this week.
So there you go. Good. Nick Smith, your command has been wished. And Michael Powlak says, if we don't get 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri with some wall drug billboards, listen, Michael Powlak, if you look at Seth's screen.
What? Look at this. Look, we're like, the response time. We're like a chat GPT. Is that known for its response times? I don't know. Probably not.
Chat, yeah. I don't know. Okay, so.
Oops.
Here we go. What are you doing? Dark Knight?
I'm gonna do a Dark Knight. I do want to try that shot because it involves some techniques that we haven't really done yet. Awesome. So I'm gonna save this project. So when I grab the clip from Premiere, it doesn't yell at me for not being a project already. Dark.
I'm not a project.
Nugget.
Not your project.
You're a step project. You're not my real project.
Importer. What did I want to do? I want to replace with After Effects composition. And I'm going to go. I didn't use my button for it. It goes back to Premiere and automatically undoes that.
God bless you. I need a button like that. I need to make that button too. All right, here we go.
Ready? Boom.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. So, in Truman Show style fashion, I feel like it's funny if you ever have a character pressing someone up against a wall.
Reference. Good God, great reference. I know exactly what shot. Yeah.
Because you've got all this wasted real estate over here, like that. Like you could have a nice poster advertising something there. Please start suggesting. Did someone say why so Sirius XM?
Yep.
Oh my!
Michael Powlak.
Good.
Sirius XM. It's so good.
Good.
Lord.
Gravy. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I want to extend this scene because I want to do some reframing. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to move it over like this. I kind of imagine how much space I need over here. And in fact, it's a lot. I want like this much space over here.
Wow.
I want it to be just shamefully like frustrating how that the camera is almost moving off of the scene. Okay, actually, I do want some control over that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the composition settings, and we're going to crank up the width to 2800. And then we're going to move the clip over until it's kissing the edge over there. And now if I play it back, you can see like there's random negative space that nothing is happening in over here. So I'm going to take this clip and I'm going to recompose it. And I'm going to move all of its attributes over, and I might as well adjust the composition duration like that. And now I'm going to call this the plate. And now what that's done is After Effects is now considering this whole thing the piece of footage. And so if I take all of this, I can do a little camera track on it. Actually, how much is there really? It's like a slight bit of 3D move that I would love if I'm able to get. So, because I'm worried about all this business, these characters, I'm going to roto them real quick so I can block them out before the camera track. So I'll duplicate my I don't know if this is a poor choice or not. Oh, here's what I'll do. I'll duplicate the one that's called plate, and I'll go into that pre-comp where this footage has its own resolution still. And if I can open up that piece of footage, open layer, now I can start rotoing out Joker and Batman here. So, roto brush, you can hold down Control and change the brush size like that. And what's helpful to this segmentation model that it's been trained on is you do things like draw a little shape that represents the head, and then draw a vector for the neck, and then draw a vector for the shoulder there, and a vector for this shoulder. And you'll see, obviously, it's selected too much. But now I go in and add these little segmented, not this stuff. And now you'll see that it's got that very nicely. And it's got the shoulder over here, and it's going to keep that pretty much throughout the shot. It's going to know to try to figure out wherever these pixels go. So among these things, we got face, we've got the hand, and I'm going to size my brush down a little bit and say, but not that stuff there. And I think that I don't need to put any advertisement directly behind them, so I'm not going to worry about how close the roto is or not. And I also don't mind that the roto is including the letterboxing at the bottom, because if I fight that without cropping the original source to begin with, it's just going to be a pain. But watch this. I can take this piece of footage and just press play. And my guess is that it's going to be perfect.
Well, yeah.
Almost.
Oh, right
Dang
there.
it. So close. Okay, so let's go into this play. Let's drag across it, and right here we see our first little bit of trouble. So I'm just going to say include this general area. One modification stroke there. And again, I think the sleeve and the high contrast drops out of frame, and then when it reintroduces itself, it thinks it's foreign content. Okay, close enough for me. Because I should probably freeze this transform, freeze the roto brush. I don't know if this really helps. I just never wanted to calculate itself again.
Oh yeah, no, you should always freeze the roto brush. It makes the computer work less hard. Always freeze roto brush.
And what's nice is that I believe this may only be in After Effects beta, but now you can. Yeah, it looks like it must just be in the beta, because it'll use your cached roto brush frames when it freezes.
Yeah, the beta freezing is significantly faster. Frequent Show Other is saying someone actually uses dynamic link because of how you got this clip into After Effects. Hashi, you want to talk about that?
We will never use it the way that it's meant to be made. We will only use it. Yeah.
Now, is it now that we are at Maxon with our awesome leader Dave McGavran, did Dave build dynamic link?
I don't want to know if he did or not, because I don't want to not be able to talk about it. Dynamic link is awesome for getting stuff over to After Effects. And what's cool is it will stay updated in Premiere, like showing a render, like a live render of your project file. It's a very cool thing. For me, though, I'm a control freak, and I like to be able to control what is showing up in the Premiere
You're a man of simple
project
tastes.
file. So I like bringing renders into Premiere and putting them into the timeline. So I'll do what Hashi just had an automation to do, which is use Dynamic Link to send it to After Effects from Premiere, but then I'll go back to Premiere and hit undo in Premiere, and it will go back to normal in Premiere, but stay in After Effects, where I will work with it from there. That's what's very, very useful.
Whereas I will just hit copy and paste, but the difference is this way it brings over the resolution and the frame rate and everything automatically for you. Because usually I'll have, if I'm doing stuff in Premiere and After Effects, I'll already have stuff set up in After Effects, so I just hit Control-C in Premiere, Control-V in After Effects. But if you don't have it already set up, this is a way faster way to do it.
Excellent. So what I've done now is I just grabbed the rotated character level right there and added a fill effect and just made it black. And that'll just block out all of the detail of, there's so much detail on Heath's face right here that I feel like that would distract the tracker too much. So I'm just going to block it out. And then I can go back over to my super letterboxed version of this And now the only available pixels are the environment. So now I can take this and finally run my camera track on it. So let's track the camera. I hope it works just standard. I might need to dive into advanced because it's got all this little business. But I really want it to be, I want to get the parallax of this side of this wall. Just so it's I want one good match today. Is that too much to ask?
Well, we're only halfway through the day, so if this doesn't work, you got about two more to go for after this. We'll have time for two more shots.
Oh my gosh. The what you're working on there, Seth, is what is being served up to me constantly.
I know. I'm sorry, I'm
YouTube.
stealing it, but it's the greatest.
I know it's perfect. Ever. I feel like it. There's no wrong way to crunch a
to chubby chicken crunch.
No
wrong way to chub. No wrong way to crunch. The new chubby chicken cruncher from A&W.
Andrew Smith does really want a 3 billboards in North by Northwest crop duster scene episode.
What? Man, I wish someone had
possibly a banner
and has it in a folder.
Possibly a banner behind the plane as well. Suggested from Jason Murphy. And Frigby Chillweather wants Rear Window.
He wants to watch it.
Yeah. He just said no. He says he wants us to see an ad through the binoculars or the camera. He can't remember what they have in the movie. I haven't seen it in a long time.
All right. Well, I'm going to have this run a detailed analysis on this just in case. And so if you wanted a reminder of what that looks like, I think it looks a little something like...
Are you going for Rear Window or North by Northwest? There we go.
I mean, his movies were decent, but look at all the real advertising real estate that Hitchcock is wasting here.
Yeah.
I can just hear the executives talking like this.
Yeah, because we're right.
Look at this. Yes. Look, just unadorned. I mean, you might argue this is on the interior of the buildings. This isn't what's facing the street. But you should damn well be able to see a backwards Coca-Cola sign right here.
Right there, yep.
Goodness gracious.
Oh, no.
They were so lucky to have found a location so free of advertisements. All right. Let's see how our thing is doing. Okay. Oh, look. It did a detailed analysis, and now I've got tiny targets.
Tiny targets.
That makes me happy.
Targets.
Yes.
Seth, did you just crash?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No.
Okay, great. So I'm going to create a solid right here, and then I'm going to create a solid on the side of these bricks. I'm so happy that I got this because this is what I wanted. Because I want my ad to be on a 3D plane that is properly around the corner here.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, look at that.
Perfect. So whenever you're doing a 3D track, I highly recommend our free normalized track script. Oh, do I have it off screen? I do. There we go. This looks like this. And actually, that's bigger than it usually looks. It usually looks like this. Just a very... I don't want to take up a lot of space. I just want to have some helpful tools right here. So what you can do is, this is the 3D tracked plane, but if I go over to its position is 1,000 by negative 1,200 by 13,272 in Z, which is silly.
That's weird.
That's very far away from the camera. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Doesn't make any sense.
So what I like to do is I just tell the layer, I want you to be the wall in this, okay? Like I want to define a wall here. And then with that, I just go highlight any of my 3D layers that I've created and press normalize track. Looks like nothing happened, but something did. Now the position of this is the center of the 3D comp. And so if I create any new layer, like if I bring in the VFX and Chill logo was the old one, and make it a 3D layer, it'll automatically center itself right there. Neat.
And if you want to get this free normalized track script, which makes doing stuff like working with Element 3D, TrapCut Particular, or just After Effects 3D tracks in general, of all kinds, whether you're using third-party tools or After Effects' own native 3D stuff now, you can get that link in the chat. Or go to maxon.net and type in normalize track in the search box at maxon.net, and you will find it.
Do it.
No, wait, seriously, I almost every 3D track I do, I use this because it just makes everything better. Like, I can't even tell you. Everything is better.
Now, I'm lobbying for this to become a native After Effects thing. I feel like it should. But here's what I'm going to do in the meantime. I'm just going to create these 3 solids. I'm just scaling up this in-between wall solid so I can kind of start to imagine what the space looks like here. And so now I have kind of a big... So this is sort of what the camera move is doing. Perfect space for my ad right here, which is going to be fun. But I don't have any imagery right here now. A lot of it is going to be the ad, but I feel like I need some more of what this room looks like. So let me hide my solids for a second and see what we're actually working with. We're working with not a lot. Let's turn off the blocker there. And so now I've got to create something over here. I need to do some because there's the frame originally here from that original window, but then it gets cropped out of the original footage, so I need to expand that. So we're going to do what I was mentioning earlier in these kind of cases. I'm going to show that there's my transparency channel right there. I can't tell if I have some black pixels here, probably. But I'm going to say create reference frame, which is in the content aware fill menu. And if you do that, if you're lucky, it should just come right over to Photoshop like this. And here in Photoshop, I'm just going to clear the guides so I don't have my selections all snapping to weird places. And I'm going to... I kind of want to fill in the letterboxed areas, but
don't. That's
I'm just going to select
letterbox.
This over here, and I'm going to say generative fill. Should I describe what it is, or should I just let it? I'm just going to say generate. No description. Let me see what the computer thinks is over there. Well, that's boring.
I mean, that one's better.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
In the shower.
A window with reflections of oddly placed fluorescent bulbs.
All pretty plausible-ish stuff. Oh, I remember why I was curious to create above and below. Let me watch this camera move again. Does it only move inward and get closer, or does it pan up a little bit? It pans up a little bit.
Tiny bits, yeah.
Just a tiny, tiny bit. So no worries. All we've got to do is go over here. I think that I like this one the most because we're going to put a poster right here.
Yeah. Like
it's taped to the window here. So over here, I'm going to select the top there. And because I know we pan up, it might dip down at some point too. So I'm going to select these 2 areas, and I'm going to say generate, fill, and do more. Generate, and I'm not going to put in any prompt. I'm just going to let it guess.
Now, we've got 3 minutes left on this one. For the next one, if we do Rear Window, Michael Powlick really wants ads for Level or Blinds, Bushnell Optics, and the Nextdoor app. Which is all
do you
great
work for
suggestions.
these companies?
Yeah, that such a detailed list.
No, but they're all perfect because Bushnell Optics is, for looking through things. Blinds, obviously, you would want to have if someone's got Bushnell Optics, and the Nextdoor app for the person who's got the optics grumping about things happening in the neighborhood.
Wasn't super thrilled with any of these things here. I'm just quickly running generative fill again. Okay, you generate and blah, 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 blah. I'm doing the whole thing because it's trying to, it guessed the letterbox pattern in two of the examples.
Maybe you should describe indoor. Oh, there you go. That did it.
No,
the first one.
Yeah, close enough. I'm just going to grab all these. I'm going to work destructively. I'm just going to smash it all down and press save. And now what will happen in theory is if I'm in this comp, once this reference frame gets reloaded, usually it kind of auto-updates once I've saved over it. Reload footage. Great. So now it's there. But you may ask, how you're going to texture it? And I already have. I have this 3D wall stand-in right here. This is where I know the wall is supposed to be projected, basically. So I know that this is the same angle of the columns solid, 3D solid there.
Yes.
So all I'm going to do is I'm going to just use the gizmos to move it in X so it maintains the same spot. Drag it down here, make it cover up a little bit more like that. And then I'm going to unsolo. I got too much into the solo game here. I'm going to bring my reference plate down here so I have the... there we go. Reference plate and footage. So it's all filled in on this frame, but then if I play, it's not here. So I'm going to go to here. I'm going to go to the wall that I want right here, select it, and then I'm going to use 3D plane stamp on it. 3D plane stamp. Okay, so what just happened is that script does a really quick inverted power pin transform and then exports just the image from that distorted section, which is now going to be 3D. So I think I can press play. Oh, it almost worked. It's so close. Oh, I didn't go far enough over.
I didn't get anywhere.
Yeah, you did.
I feel like I fizzled out a little bit at the end here, but I'll finish my point here. I should have made this square bigger so it actually got all the way over to here or something like that. And then from there, I should be able to say 3D plane stamp.
Now, if you too would like to get the 3D plane stamp script for paint outs, or in this case, paint ins, the link for that is in the chat.
So now you'll see that it just took that still frame texture and is projecting it onto that area. And what's kind of neat is that I could take this and I could say pre-compose. And in this case, I'll leave everything there. And I'll call this the window. And now if I go to this window pre-comp, it looks all stretched out, but this is actually square to the wall. So I feel like there were some good suggestions, and I'll have to revisit them. But I do have some pre-downloaded ads that I could show. For example, if it's crunch time, perhaps this poster is on the wall here. And if I go back to, oops. Oh, not wide enough. So this wall is a little bit stretched out because of the camera angle. Oh, here, let's do this. Let's do, what's it called? Scale, add to essential properties. There we go. And now I can go right back to this comp right here. And in the essential properties, I can, actually that actually does look pretty square or pretty proper.
Perspective looks weird, but maybe not.
It does look a little too exaggerated.
Looks angled toward us a little. It's pretty funny though.
There's a little bit of shakiness.
I think it needs to be bigger, like a bigger banner on the wall.
I agree. So what should happen with this is that this comp after all of that silliness, goes into a comp that's actually back to 1920 by 1080, and it has the quickest way to do some letterboxing is add a solid, add a mask, make it a subtract mask, and then see. Let me go to the frame where you can see what the ratio is. I don't remember what it is. Putting down the Alt key so I can. And the bottom. There we go. So now I have this letterboxing that I could lock in the front, and then I can pan and scan from the original shot.
When are we getting our buddy comedy about pan and scan?
Eat it. It's
eat
position,
it?
And then
like you just said eat it to me. Eat it.
It's crunch time. Eat it.
I like that you made the ad. You made the shot go more toward the ad.
It's so funny.
It just pans away from.
And then it finds its way back to. It gets momentarily distracted.
Got to do that and then come back.
Easy, those keyframes.
It's crunch time. Okay, back,
you don't even need to.
Stuff.
That's perfect. Oh, that's great.
And this bizarre pan and scan process is exactly how you can alter the camera work of.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Whoever shot this.
You just integrate that, and it's going to be the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited about that. Okay, I'm going to save this one. This one's prepped.
Yeah, save that for sure.
Close project. Let's see. Oh, here. This is a shot that. Apologies, everyone, but I was like, it could be a missed opportunity in this shot. It just pans over here, nothing.
Oh, that's perfect. Oh my gosh.
Now, there were some other suggestions in the chat. Darby Facinto was wanting some lockdown action with the Blob having the Coke logo tattooed on his stomach during his scene in X-Men Origins. And Nick Smith wants you to put something on that giant light wall at the end of Close Encounters.
Oh, the Close Encounters is funny. The idea they're just doing.
We don't have that footage pulled.
I'm going to do Wizard of Oz this time. I'm going to put a billboard back in here. I'm going to try. I need a win with a billboard.
We just watched Wizard of Oz with the kids the other night.
I know. I was with you. I wasn't. I was in the window. Don't worry about it.
The rear window?
Hash, you're doing Reservoir D's, and I'm doing Wizard of O's.
Let's see. I need to stop separating these project files. It's going to be ridiculous.
Reservoir D's.
All this one adds. I'm unsure if I want to do.
I think you should. It's perfect.
Yeah, if you don't know what's happening here, don't find out.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. What else do we have here? Jeez, I just thought of the worst stuff. I was like,
I thought of this too.
Bic, maybe a lot of negative space.
Well, yeah, but he's centered. Like, I wonder if.
We just reframe it, Seth.
Funny. Can you want?
So right here.
Yeah. Bic razors.
Right there behind him. Perfect. Just a little poster on the wall.
Right there, just that moment. That's perfect. I feel like this is lightning round.
Close Encounters was a funny idea. We don't have the asset though. We don't have the plates.
Okay,
right, I'm gonna do Wizard of Oz. When you're ready, I'll hit the timer.
Are you putting the ad for the Oz TV show in it, Seth, as Frigby Chillweather is suggesting?
No, Frigby, I'm not. No. What? Hashi, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
And to answer your question, John, don't worry about it. How they grab their clips.
I don't know the question.
No, he's asking how do they grab their clips. Don't worry about it.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do the same deal as we did earlier. Let's. Luckily, this is a locked out shot, so I'm just gonna cheat and just quickly say create a reference frame. That'll open right up in here. And then I'm going to use the built-in, if you go to the crop tool, click on it there, and you just expand like this. You can just say generate.
Oh, can I just say how great it is watching Rotorbrush work that fast over on Seth's machine? Like, it's just goes.
Are you doing all 3 characters there?
Yeah.
I didn't see what you were rotoing.
Yeah, but the Tin Man's axe is given trouble, but who cares? It's still pretty impressive.
Yeah, it works best on humanoid characters. Sometimes the objects are carrying less so.
And humanoid characters that are not Batman.
I know there's a
Batman's
door
got
here,
a cape.
but I'm actually gonna.
No, it's Batman's ears that it freaks out at.
Oh yeah, it doesn't
Batman
like pointy things.
no. It even did with this design. Did you see that on?
Oh, it did.
Yeah. Wait. Let's see. Open recent.
While Hashi's pulling that up, Seth, Michael Palek suggests Wizard of Oz should have a Dunkin' Munchkins ad, obviously.
Look at that. It was like, nope.
Nice.
Yeah.
No ears.
Just lopped him right off.
Jeez.
I know that isn't Rotobrush. That was generative fill, but still, for some reason.
And Hashi, Jason Murphy has suggested if you do the Reservoir Dogs one.
Oh my God! Wait, who's this?
Should be a dental ad of some kind. Whoa!
I love when generative fill
adds
people out of nowhere. It makes me so happy.
That's
I mean,
terrifying.
The lighting is kind of right.
I'm just gonna go with.
I love when you don't ask for people and it still gives you people. Hey Hashi, hit Command H.
Fine.
There you go.
Control H on a PC.
Whatever. Just kidding. Yes, you're right.
I'll just save that. And now in here somewhere I should have this reference frame. I feel like it's not auto-updating at its usual
I just
pace.
purged the cache to make it happen.
I'm going to purge it all.
Purge it.
96.6 gigabytes. Gone forever.
Like tears in the rain.
You died on a Saturday morning.
Oh, that would be a good scene too.
Oh no! For some
your laugh there was exactly on tune for the Super Mario World star level theme.
Like that?
Okay. All right. I'm getting carried away. Okay, let's add the reference frame. No, but it's just the one frame, so I'm going to press my little automation to stretch
that is neat.
out.
Look at that. That is kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Magic.
Wait, turn it black and white. Just desat the background. That's when.
Oh, okay.
Look how easily you can. Ooh, can people hear that?
Wow. Yeah,
that
definitely.
I heard.
Maybe I should switch to.
It's pleasant.
No, it's fine. They only have one. That is.
It may look like I'm in my office, but I'm not in my office. I'm in my relocated desk in the attic because my third office in a row got flooded by a hot wheat.
Wait, stop running. Never mind. Stop building offices under water parks.
I like the environment and the smell, Seth.
I like the water feature.
There was a fire at a water park? If anyone's seen the IT crowd and appreciates that joke, we can be friends. We might still be able to be friends even if we haven't, but...
Perfect.
Michael Palek, by the way, is objecting to Hashi's turning it black and white because that only happens at the beginning and end of the film.
Hashi, shut up.
Your AI is showing.
Uh-oh. What?
This next segment is going to be brought to you by NVIDIA Broadcast.
Is that coming from you? Oh, yeah, it is. I see.
Yeah, he's turning on the...
Switch my microphone over so I can use my microphone and use the AI tool so you can hear all that annoying construction noise right now, but watch this. Actually, I should have just tried Skype's built-in. Okay, I've switched to a new mic. Can you hear me on the stream? Can you hear me on the call?
Yes.
I hear you.
We can definitely still hear that
loud
craziness.
construction noise.
It's just now...
Oh, let me turn the strength all the way up on it.
I am Hashi.
All right.
Can you hear me now?
Tell someone to fall down the stairs.
Is
Tell
my
someone to
voice
fall down
still
the
making
stairs.
it
Tell
through?
the Tin Man to fall down the stairs again, and we'll see if we can hear it.
Yeah.
Because that is what it sounds like. Old timey Tin Man falling downstairs sound effect.
Oh, that'd be so funny to watch.
Someone falling
I
downstairs.
wouldn't be surprised if that didn't happen to the actor.
Hey, if you want
I
to
feel like no actor on
terrible
Wizard of
things
Oz
happen
escaped.
to actors on Wizard of Oz. No actor on Wizard of Oz made it out okay.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, none of them. But if you want to see someone fall down the stairs a long time, tune in on next week's episode.
Oh, yeah. You're panning over to it? Oh, my gosh.
Yep. It's happening.
So good.
Let's see. I need a Wes Anderson speed pan.
You do not need a Wes Anderson speed pan.
I think the slow creep over. I don't know. You did it on Batman's.
Oh, that's loud. No.
Are you going to be doing a Gillette, the best a man can get behind him, or?
That's
The best thing. Hashi,
Yeah,
they
Hashi,
might
it's
be
not
coming.
yeah, you can hear all
They
that.
might
right?
be coming through, buddy.
You're breaking into your reality.
Yeah. I would get out of there. All right. It's weirdly quiet now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Here, I'll make it knock.
You're right. Just the
There we
camera
go.
panning over. Just that it just starts to like.
It's trying to be subtle about it. I love the idea of the camera getting distracted by the ad. While you're looking at this, look at this.
A little bit less.
I mean, it's such a boring shot of a guy shading with no emotional impact at all. Let's add an ad.
I'm so sorry, everyone.
There's going to just be a man in coveralls drops into Hashi's frame.
I just remember
It's possible.
when you had to get sound effects off of like CDs or cassette tapes, and so you'd have to play through this library of sounds to find the one you wanted.
Okay.
That's what it sounds like is happening behind Hashi. Someone's just like,
does
nope,
sound
that's
like
not the right.
So Hashi and I talk about this all the time. I have various like audio input presets in all of my like Zoom and Teams and everything, like interfaces, to where I have it to where I can be in a meeting and also browsing sound effects without anyone hearing it, because like the way it's going to my mixer, the computer sound is fed, like the way we do the show, the computer sound is fed to the mixer and fed back into the computer. So I have to have it set up to where with multi-track stuff, to where in a Zoom call or something, you're only getting my mic and nothing else, unless I tell you I want other things. So I'm terrified that I'm going to leave it on a wrong preset, and in the middle of a meeting, I'm just going to be the guy going through sound effects, just like glass shattering sound effects. Oh God, what happened? Just like glass shattering sound effects, and like the idea of that playing out, like car crashes, just playing out in a meeting without any explanation, is really funny to me, but also terrifying. And I don't know if you want to tell the story, Hash, but you had an office mate at one point that you related to this story.
I had an awesome office mate, Stanisio, an amazing previs artist and ZBrush artist, and but like English was not his first language, and we didn't talk a whole lot during the day. But one day I was sound effect shopping, and just in the politest way he was like, is it possible that you could wear headphones for this part of your day? Like, it was
for this part of your day.
It was so polite, and I felt like such an ass. But yeah, anyway, that's the whole story. It's just
that's the whole story. It's a good story.
That's the whole story.
That's the whole story.
And that's I'm getting some bad MP4
Bad MP4
distortion junk, so I'm quickly trying to figure out how to burning this as a ProRes file real quick. Boop, 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 boop.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention earlier, if your camera tracky stuff fails or you get weird error messages when trying to camera track, sometimes if you're trying to camera track a MP4, sometimes transcoding an MP4 to a ProRes file will solve that problem. And the problem comes about because After Effects is having to rebuild a pixel data on every frame from the MP4, which does not have full pixel data every frame. We've talked about it before. MP4s have one full frame every second or 2 seconds or however long. It varies. And After Effects has to have full pixel data per frame, so it has to take and reinterpolate all that stuff, and sometimes it just fails with what the camera tracker is trying to do. So transcoding it to a codec that does not use interframe compression like that will make a camera tracker work better. Forgot to mention that earlier. Meant to. Sorry. Hope you stayed tuned in, people with questions earlier. That's what you get for leaving.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can find the right wall poster ad for here.
Darby Facinto is suggesting we should do another episode like this, but we add pop-ups to famous movie screen sequences, not unlike what you did for the Indiana Jones short.
Goodness gracious.
And if you missed it, folks, the Indiana Jones and his pop-ups.
Let's watch the whole thing right now.
If you missed it, Raiders of the Lost Ark, it rules.
No, Indiana Jones and his pop-ups are now in the link for that is in the chat. No, after it's 41 seconds. After this show is over, you should watch that. It's 41 seconds of fun.
I thought you were saying that's how much time we had left.
No, you have 6 minutes and 52 seconds. 50, 49.
You just count
50,
the whole time.
40,
What if we relied
47.
on you to be our timer? Go.
Oh, Harry Frank. Hello. Harry Frank, one of my favorite people, is working at one of my favorite companies now. Harry Frank is now part of Action VFX.
Yeah.
Woo.
We love Action VFX.
And
hey,
if this is what's happening, we're adding ads to scenes that need them.
Oh my God.
If you haven't seen this billboard, folks, you must not live in the American South.
Oh man.
It's perfect.
It's so good.
All right. Anyway, sorry, Mike. I cut you off. Mike.
Right.
I don't want
I'm going to add my effects to my ad before I put it in the right order. So I want to guess. I want to guess.
I was just answering Harry Frank's question of what we're doing. We're adding ads to places that never had them before because people want to do product placement, and what better way to do it than slap it inside a classic film?
We are laying the groundwork for advertisers to go. I didn't realize that we could just that we could do this all after the fact.
There goes the Tin Man again.
Oh, that'd be such a great short. I think I've talked about it on the show that my dream short film is an old
Tin Man falling down the stairs.
Well, that's actually great. That's a good variant. An old man wearing the Dick Van Dyke one-man band setup, falling down like just a mountain side of stairs, like Tibetan temple stairs, for a solid 15 minutes, and occasionally stopping, getting up, getting his bearings, and then tripping again, complete with vocals. I just want that for 15 minutes would be the dream short film for me. I want my screensaver to be that. I want it playing in my office at all times.
Well, if you do want to be able to have some infinite stairs, next week's episode of VFX and Chill, link in the chat, is going to be about creating infinite stairs and otherwise making infinite loops possible in your life.
Infinite stairwell, an infinite stairwell.
So click over on that link real quick, open it in a new tab, and hit the notify button so you do not miss out on the show next week when we make loops from things that are not originally looped.
I will freak.
Oh, speaking of loops, NAB is happening in a little over a week, and there's a really cool session about looping your red giant particular particle setups. Hang on, I've got a link for that somewhere. I mean, it doesn't matter. Watch the live streams. What day of the week is that anyway? Hang on, I'll find out. I've got it listed somewhere.
Michael's doing his job.
He's doing his job. He knows it. Erica Anderson is showing us how to. Erica Anderson is showing us how to master. Her presentation is at 1:30 Pacific on Monday, April 15th. And it is, this presentation covers the building blocks for using Particular to create particle loops in After Effects. Learn the basics and create anything your heart desires. She'll also be sharing tips and tricks to make loops as seamless as possible and show you how you can use Trapcode DAO to make a quick particle loop as well.
Ooh.
I'm kind of curious about that one. But yeah, there's a few actual decent red giant ones. Gryoon Kim and Woo-Sung Kang are showing off some really cool stuff. The Woo-Sung Kang's presentation a couple years back is one of my favorite ones. He used Trapcode sound keys in After Effects to control lights in a Redshift scene. So Redshift has really cool ability to output each light or a group of lights to separate passes, so you can have your scene with no lights in it, and then control the opacity and timing of the lights in After Effects later. So he's used his Trapcode sound keys to make this cool music visualizer for a music artist, and it's just amazing. And the presentation is full of great Cinema 4D tips and tricks as well.
Sounds very cool.
Yeah, starting, let's see, Sunday, April 14th, the NAB show streams from Maxon are starting from the booth. Nothing red gianty until Monday. We get Derek Rutkai is showing harder surface modeling, better compositions, faster edits, and stronger animations. Got some red giant stuff going on there. Robin Haddow is showing some cool widget and UI design from Aquaman 2. Woo-Sung Kang, like I said, and Gryoon Kim are doing some Red Giant and Cinema 4D stuff as well. Erica Anderson's presentation on loops. So a lot of Red Giant stuff happening Monday. Also on Tuesday, Gustav Fieldstrom. He's got a really cool thing. His work is great. He's doing a Daniel the Lion's Den visual effecty thing he did. Yeah, there's a bunch of Red Giant stuff on Tuesday as well, and Wednesday. So yeah, tune in to next week's live streams. Going to be kind of an all-day thing. Some nice background noise while you're working to spark your creative mood.
Wait, can you hear my voice?
Hello.
Yeah.
We can hear your voice.
You sound noise canceled.
I think that I set up the noise canceller wrong. Let me know.
Or did it cancel you out?
If this works.
Hashi,
can you hear that?
So you did laugh when I made the LL Cool J joke about doing it and doing his job. You did laugh at that? It wasn't silence? Wasn't met with silence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there. All right. Well, I have it on, and I'm hoping that that works.
Was it choreographed for the Scarecrow to pick up the basket like that? Because that was real smooth. Must have been, because she couldn't pick it up because her arms are occupied.
Wait,
yeah.
What happens? Oh,
he picks up the basket. He puts the lotion in the basket.
I think I'm approaching.
Well, I hope you are, because the timer also is approaching.
I feel good about this. It's not integrated at all, but it's funny. So the end.
It's funny. It's integrated enough. Like the colors are close enough to matching.
Yeah, it's weird that a Hell Is Real billboard fits right into
this Technicolor world.
Yeah,
aggressively Technicolor world. 10 seconds.
Explosion. We did.
We did it.
147.
Yeah. Oh, we've got time for one more.
Do we? All right. Yeah, I can do 3 billboards.
Yeah.
The little easiest possible one.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of, okay, what final composition works the best here?
Final composition 2.
Oh, I forgot that I could do this too. I could do a little layer. I'm going to add the bokeh effect.
Do you want to spend the last 10-minute timer finishing this one?
Or it's for the background out of focus there.
Hosh,
That's too far out of focus.
Hosh, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to do the last 10-minute timer finishing this or doing a new one?
I'm going to consider this one placeholder done.
Cool. I think I will say whatever Michael recommended, the Gillette. What was it? What was the Gillette one?
Gillette, the best a man can get.
Yeah, I think that's pretty funny. The best a man can get, but the best a mannequin can get. Moving on.
Yep, we're gonna have to do a 10-minute timer for this one, I think.
All right.
Yeah, looking at the time, we got to. All right.
What shot are you gonna do, Hashi? Before we start the timer, you need to kind of get you set up, ready to go.
Gracious. I don't know. Maybe I'll try seeing if Rear Window is trackable. Can you hear me? I don't know if you can.
Rear Window.
We can hear you.
Cool.
Rear Window, trackable. Possibly.
I'll try.
All right. Here we go. I know I've said it before, but that woo noise is it tickles something in me. It's like the first Transformers movie when that kind of noise something inside me loves that noise and I don't know why.
We love a good bass drop.
Man, I remember the very first time I heard dubstep music, like my brain was like, what is this? I want more. And it was a dubstep remix of the Harry Potter Hedwig's theme.
Excellent.
Like, but dubstepped. I didn't know what to do with it.
If you know what to do with it, write to us in the comments.
What should your brain do with dubstep?
Wow.
Oh, Darby said he did some of the work on Aquaman 2 too.
Yes, he did.
Nice.
Let's see.
Nice quiet moment.
Professor Dubstep in the Harry Potter films. Michael Palahniuk loved them. Yeah. So, how'd your track go, Hosh?
It went fine on the set back there.
Good.
I feel like it's like this shot is a good, is a fun one for it. But yeah, there wasn't a whole lot in the foreground to track.
But do you need anything in the foreground?
Didn't grab anything. I would like to at least be able to put in a 3D placeholder for these windows.
Oh, for easier masking?
For the masking. I tried adding a 3D null in one spot, but it seems pretty shaky.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's. We could solve.
I think for the foreground, you might be able to do a couple of spot clone tracker only mode for each window frame and just average them out to get you a pretty solid track in the middle.
Whoops. The reference frame has the banner. What the heck? Come on.
Amazing.
Okay. Hide warning banner.
Not Defrosted appreciates our appreciation of the craft of editing. You're welcome.
Thank you. We appreciate you coming and watching the show and commenting.
We do.
Hey, and also we appreciate you liking things. If you like it, just go ahead and hit the thumbs up button there, and don't forget if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed and you like just hanging out and playing with visual effects stuff, throwing out little tips and tricks along the way, might as well hit subscribe because you probably want more of it.
All right, I'm going to create a reference frame of this once we're cleanly through the window, and then I'm going to have a couple of files open. I'm going to have the first frame and the last frame open. And then I'm going to say File, Automate, Crop, no, what's it called? Photo Merge.
Oh.
And I'm going to say Automatic, and I'm going to say Add Open to Files, and then I'm going to say OK. We'll create this new untitled panorama Photoshop file. And all it did was just took, looks like it put one behind the other. Oh, it's not showing that at all. Okay, so you can see what it's done here. Oh, you can look at that perspective shift you get.
Interesting.
But it lined it up pretty darned well. I really just want a nice version of what this background sort of looks like cleanly. So I took the original frame because I need a little bit extra, but I should actually mask out some parts of it. You know what? I'm just going to do this. I'm going to select these pixels, and I'm going to select inverted, and I'm also going to try to erase this window a little bit. This is where my selection tool is going to confuse me because I'm trying to erase the...
Harry Frank wants an ad for Firefly in the tracking banner.
And wasted real estate right there. I hate that phrase, and I kept going back to it over and over again. Okay, generative fill. We're just going to try to fill in, get a big, clean plate of this of sorts. Okay, let's see. Which is the most? This one feels the closest to this set. So I'm going to use this as the background. And now let's see how this goes. Ads.photoshop. That's going to be super clear. Say right here, I want a generative fill billboard. Should have gotten bigger. Billboards are these? Yes. Okay. Just going to grab some other sections of this world. Generative fill, and I'm going to say
I'm very much enjoying Seth's STD billboard.
Someone's got to be.
Oh my goodness. What? Oh, it did not understand me at all. Generative fill. Banner on side of building. I hope is that it would generate a bunch of nicely integrated billboard looking things that I could just grab the framing of, because I would know the lighting and everything matched, and then 3D composite them into thing. But none of this is working. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to just do it the ugly way. So we've got this. This one kind of works. So let's. I feel like my middle mouse button keeps on activating all by itself, and I'm not a fan. My mouse buttons are backwards every now and then. Don't get it.
Got about a minute left, y'all.
What?
I said.
That perspective feels wildly off. And yet... So that's what it should be. Just got to add one more billboard.
Oh, man. Seconds. How did I fail on this one?
You didn't.
Yeah.
You got stuff happening.
Ah. No.
Do better. Whose idea was it to do timers anyway? Who built these things? I have one more billboard I need to add. Do we do Angry Birds movie
Where's that,
or
Reading,
Hail
Missouri?
to the Whopper?
Oh, man. Hail to the Whopper is pretty good.
All right. Let's see.
You're right.
I object slightly to you saying that's a Whopper because that is definitely not a Whopper from McDonald's.
Well, that's the same. See, advertising works, guys.
It does. Okay, all of a sudden. No.
Yeah. So interesting. Seth is using a ton of Kingpin for this one. And the really cool thing about Kingpin is that you can pin inside something to outside on something else. It's really quite handy.
And it's also doubling as my mask.
Yeah, like you just got a lot happening all in one go.
Honestly, I could just do this and it'll work just fine.
So 2 STD billboards in McDonald's?
One's OK Cupid.
Classic.
Oh, sorry. I mean, basically the same thing.
You're right.
Only it's more want to get them versus want to get rid of them.
I would argue their goal is not to get STDs.
Yeah,
what do I know? I'm not going to speak on behalf of, their intent.
Deep down, that's what they really want.
That's what we all want. Deep down. And that's where we'll get it. Deep down. Anyway. Michael, I'm surprised you're not getting there before I am.
No, I got there. I just had the.
What,
you have
myself.
that, whatever it's called.
A filter?
Oh, what's that?
Harry is liking the Frumpins and Tupins. Yes, Frumpins and Tupins.
Frumpins and Tupins.
Frumpins and Tupins. They're the two.
They're dead.
It feels like Narnia, like they occupy a certain area.
Oh, Super Comp's color matching is great on that Feel the Burn one.
Oh, yeah,
like that feels set in there with like one click.
Nicely done.
It's pretty nuts. Okay. What's funny about this is that it's like, I think the funniest thing about this
is that it's pointless. All of this
is you get this clip and then it cuts to, oh, oops. That is funny, but it cuts to, what the? I got rid of you. Oh, you're here. It cuts to the title. Maybe. No, it doesn't. Darn it, Bobby.
It's about to.
No, it wasn't. Ah, no. Piece of living crap. Okay. The idea here is it cuts from this to this. Just like, who cares about these 3 billboards?
All right.
Is that a movie I should see, by the way? I haven't seen it yet.
I mean, no. It's fine. It's good, but it's not like, oh my God, you haven't seen 3 billboards?
Right. It's not like Everything Everywhere All at Once where like you definitely should see
another one
it.
of those 3 billboards, bros.
3 bill bros. That's something else.
Goodness gracious.
All right.
3 hobbits with rings outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Bilbro Baggins is also what we call them.
I wish I had delivered way more on this episode.
You delivered tips and tricks.
Dude, you delivered so much stuff.
Yeah, most of the episode was you talking through cool ways to do things.
Yeah, my stupid Sound of Music clip just
I'm very sad that didn't work.
I tortoise and haired that crap where I was like doing other things like, Sound of Music's gonna be fine. It's gonna come through for me. It did not.
It's going to be good. It's good. It's good. It's going to be good.
I'm just gonna.
What I'm doing now is I made a sort of stand-in 3D card that I think is somewhat in the right spot. So if I there's a mat for this layer, and I could sort of start to put the stuff back outside there. There we go.
Yeah.
There's sort of something.
Almost.
Perfect.
No notes.
Well, ask the Coca-Cola people if that's fine. I love the idea of the advertising firm approving the quality of the integration too.
Yes.
No consent from
I hate
filmmakers.
It so much. Now that we're being honest,
horrible.
It's the worst idea.
When it happens, you can say you heard it here first. And remember, we were warning you about it. We weren't giving ideas to advertising companies.
Endorsing it or teaching how to do it.
No.
I think it's clear we taught that it won't work. You won't be able to do it.
Exactly. See, this is what'll happen if you try to do this.
You should give up.
We're professionals, and this is all you'll get.
For 10 minutes of work.
That's true. Oh, man.
That's gracious. Well, Seth, Michael, it was really good to be back after this nice little 3-week break. I just about hung up. I was trying to stop sharing my screen.
It was great to be back. Bleep.
Boom. Bye.
But do you want to talk about? Have we already? You just explained what we're going to do next week, right?
Yeah, we're going to fall up some stairs eternally. No, looping your footage next week is great, and then the next Friday, then the Monday after that, the Monday after that, Sunday after that, we start the NAB live streams. I will be at NAB, so if you happen to be at the NAB show this year, come see me at the Maxon booth. I'll be probably hanging out near the demo stations, showing off fun, cool things. You can ask questions, and I can show you things in real life, in 3D.
Real life.
And if you happen to be near the internet sometime on Wednesday, you might hear some things that are cool.
Ooh.
This Wednesday.
I love things.
I have internet scheduled for this Wednesday.
I plan to be on the online Wednesday too.
Excellent. So yeah, Wednesday would be a neat time to hang around online. Cool.
I agree.
Good to know.
All right,
everybody. Thank you for VFXing and chilling with us. This has been a lot of fun, and we'll see you all next Friday to create seamless loops out of random.